Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to Logic Up. This channel was created to help people use their mind, use their brain to think rather than just accept how the way things are, or worse yet, to just believe what you're told by those in authority, those that have credentials, and all those things. Now, the people who have credentials and they have degrees and they may be right, but I'm just saying, don't just automatically accept what they say without using logic, okay, to sift through what is it that they're saying. Because a lot of times we know now from the pandemic that a lot of what the so-called experts tell you is bullshit. Okay, they just want you to get you to do something, especially those in the pharmaceutical company, on the medical field. Okay. Incidentally, in case you don't know, this is a little bit off subject, but the pharmaceutical industry writes a lot of the curriculum for the medical schools. Okay, so you know where that's going, and that's the reason why doctors love to prescribe medication in everything, right? Because they were trained that way. Anyway, so the subject for today is karma. What is karma, and why does it take so long, for karma to happen? Okay, a lot of people, especially people in the West, do not believe in karma. But the folks over in Asia, especially in India, where I think the concept came from, really do believe it, and they live it like that for like thousands of years. They live their lives like that. With that in mind, for thousands of years. Well, first of all, doesn't matter what you believe or what you don't believe. If it's true, then it's true. And karma is nothing but Newton's third law of motion. Okay, we know through Newton's third law of motion is true because we can do experiments. In fact, our rockets won't work if Newton's third law of motion is not true, right? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So what a rocket does is it shoots out matter in the back in one way, and then the same force is pushed the other way. So that's how a rocket lifts up, because it shoots matter downwards. Same thing with jet engines. Jet engines do not spew out its own matter. It just sucks in the air, accelerates it, and spits it out the back. So when the air accelerates out the back of the jet engine, the equal force pushed the other way, the opposite way. And that's how the jet engine works, okay? It's Newton's third law of motion. We know that's true. We can do experiments. We can show it's true. Karma is nothing but Newton's third law of motion, but it's delayed, and it governs, it affects human lives, okay? So for example, if you do something extreme on one side, you're going to experience the opposite, sometime later. It could be immediate, it could be later or much later, okay? We're going to talk about why that is so, okay? And if you look at everything in nature, has its opposites, right? That's just nature. If you look at, for example, if there's light, there has to be dark. Isn't that true? If there's death, there has to be life. Okay? Those things go together. If there's a right, there has to be a left. Try to define what a right is without referencing left. You can't. So those things are intricately intertwined. There has to be the other. If there's one, there has to be the other. Okay? If you look at nature, that's what it is. If there's a negative electron, there's a positive proton. Am I right? And not only that, if there's matter, there's antimatter. So everything's reversed. You see, that's how nature works. That's how you can see that's how nature works. So karma is just that. That's all it is. But it governs human lives. Okay, I give you a real world example. Okay, actually, I can give you real world example after real world example that's the case. Okay. Right now, there's a big thing going on about the housing market. In fact, the housing market has been heated up for years now, and now it's beginning to show cracks, and Some say it's about to collapse. There are some companies that pop up in the past couple of years, high-tech companies that use algorithms to buy up homes and to turn around and sell it, or flip it and sell it, or turn around and rent it out at a very, very substantially higher price. What happened when they did that was they drove a lot of people out of the market. Obviously, they can't afford, even to rent anymore, and some actually end up homeless. Some move away from those areas into other cheaper areas. But here we go, if you do that, then of course you jack up the price of the cheaper area. So the cheaper area used to be cheap and is no longer cheap. And the people, the low hanging fruit that's there all these years, are now forced into the streets. So they're creating a ripple effect. They devastate society basically by creating homelessness everywhere. So that's why you see a lot of homeless now, everywhere. Every city in the United States has tons and tons of homeless. It becomes a big issue now. Okay, it affects everybody. Okay, it's all because of these guys, these supposedly smart high-tech guys that thought that they're so smart. They come up with the idea of using algorithm and using the stock market to buy up homes and jack up the price and make a profit, a handsome profit for themselves. Okay. Some people say, well, that's capitalism. Well, maybe it is, but here's also capitalism. They're about to be whipped. In fact, they were whipped bad, okay, in reverse. Okay, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Here's what happened, okay? I'm talking about Opendoor, okay? I'm talking about the company called Opendoor that have been buying up all these homes and then jacking up the price to either flip and sell for a profit, or to put it for rent and jack up the rent price by 25% or more in that particular area. Okay, they went from the stock price of about $39 a share. Now, guess what? Guess what the stock price of Opendoor is now? Okay, they went from $39 a share just a year ago down to $4 a share now. $4.10. Okay, talk about karma, right? You talk about karma. So for those of you out there who think, well, that's capitalism. Okay, well, this is capitalism too. All right, don't complain. For those that bought the stock of Opendoor, they think they're so smart. Okay, well, you got to eat it. You made your bed, now you're eating it. That's capitalism for you. Happy capitalism, right? Right? So you think you're so smart, but that's what happens. It's called karma. Okay? Anything that goes up artificially must eventually come down. That's the market. Okay? Talk about capitalism. That's just the market. Right? The market has to be able to support a certain product. Very simple. Okay? Say if you are a car company, an exotic car company, like say Lamborghini, and you sell your car at $400,000 a pop. Okay? Well, you better be sure that there's a market out there for it. That means there are enough people with that kind of income in order to buy such a car. How many of those are there, and how many are willing to, to pay that kind of price to buy the car? You got to do the calculations in order for you to justify making a car that costs that much. Okay? It's very simple, people. Okay? So if your calculation says that no, there's not enough people, to buy such a car, well, then you don't have a business. Or you can have a business all you want. You're not going to be able to sell, and then your business is going to fold. Okay? Same thing with housing. Okay? Houses, for forever, okay, were built to fit the price, the affordability of the local area. Come on now, that's common sense. Okay? But in recent years, because of companies like Opendoor, they call them corporate buyers. They're not individual buyers who buy homes to live in. They're corporate buyers. Okay, they're big corporation from somewhere else, from Wall Street, that come in with big cash because it's not their money. They use that cash from the investors on Wall Street, which are greedy, right? They want to make money, so they do that. They throw their money into it first, so that they can get the profit later. Okay, well, it worked for a while because the stock went up to $39 a share, and I don't know how much the stock was when it started. But now it's down to $4. That's 90% drop. 90%. It's almost 100% drop. Okay. Opendoor is about to close. Okay, it's about to be a closed door. Okay, it's about to go out of business. So what they did recently was they teamed up with another company called Zillow, which also did the same thing and is collapsing too. Okay, Zillow lost over $400 million in that kind of a scheme, buying, selling, flipping homes and jack up the price, and so they sold that part of their business operation, and they lost over 400 million, almost $500 million on that. Their stock also went down, I think by 60% or something like that. Okay, so it proves that karma is real, isn't it? Karma is just the opposite effect, and the more extreme it is, and more extreme something is on one side, it's gonna whip back on the other side. So don't think that it's not real. It is real, okay? But there's a lag time, unlike Newton's third law of motion, right? Newton's third law of motion is immediate, okay? So if you have a rocket and you turn on the rocket engine and the rocket engine spews out matter, down, right? The force immediately goes up, right? In fact, that's how the rocket takes off, right? You never find that you turn on the rocket engine and it doesn't go up. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you got to wait 10 years. It doesn't, Newton's third law of motion happens right away, immediately, okay? But not karma. Karma is a form of Newton's third law of motion, and I use that term as an example, as a metaphor, to kind of illustrate a similarity in terms of the opposite reaction, okay? But it's real, okay? Now, let me ask this. Why is it then that karma takes a while to happen, right? Newton's third law of motion is immediate. In fact, that's why it's indisputable. That's why people believe it, the reason why people don't believe in karma is because they don't see it immediately at all. And by the time it happens, it could be 10 years from now. So people have forgotten about it. They don't see, they don't understand, they don't see that, wait a minute, the reason why I'm experiencing this now is because back then I did this, and this, which caused this. It's a cause and effect, that's all. Just because it's delayed doesn't mean that it's not real. It's cause and effect, okay? Here's why, okay? In order for you to understand why karma takes a while to take effect, you must understand the nature of our own existence, the purpose of our own existence, okay? Incidentally, I came across a funny t-shirt a few years back, which I thought illustrates this. It's really funny. The t-shirt says, "How about if I kick your ass right now because karma takes too long?" Okay, illustrates, right? Karma takes a while because the purpose of our existence, okay, in the physical reality, and this could be a subject for another video, but scientists now are beginning to see that that we live in a simulation, like a video game, and that our body and everything around you in the physical world is like an avatar. It's a computer generated images for the purpose of teaching the player something, okay? So let's say you play a video game. Every video game has an object to it, a purpose. You don't just go into a video game and just wander aimlessly around, with your avatar. There's got to be a reason why you're doing it. Usually, you go through something. Either it's a game, shooting up game, or an obstacle. You go through an obstacle and then you get points and things like that. Okay. Well, scientists now are beginning to theorize that we live in a video game, sort of, also, and the purpose of this video game is the simulation is to accumulate information for the larger consciousness system, which historically people refer to as God. Okay, the larger consciousness system, and this theory is according to Tom Campbell, the physicist. Tom Campbell, he's a former NASA physicist, and now he conducts experiments on the nature of reality. Okay, pretty smart guy. Anywho, so the purpose of our existence is to go through this simulation and learn from it, collect information for the larger consciousness system. The larger consciousness system is an information system, and by definition, information system need information in order to continue to exist, right? By definition, an information is something that's has a pattern to it, not random. Okay, if it's random, there's no information. Okay, it's not random, it's pattern. Okay, so it contains information. Well, we are part of this consciousness system, and our job is to experience obstacles in the physical world, which is really a simulated world, to overcome obstacles. And while we're doing that, we learn something. Okay, so the phone is overheating because of the sun, but anywho, so then, while we're doing that, we're learning something. That's the reason why we're here. Okay, now what is karma? Karma, the reason why karma takes a while, to happen, is because the larger consciousness system wants to give us the opportunity, time to change, to realize and change on our own rather than forcing us. Okay, I went through this before with the example of the speed limit. Okay, most people obey the speed limit not because they understand that it's bad to go fast and they don't want to cause accident. They couldn't care less. They obey the speed limit because they're afraid they're going to get a ticket from the cops, right? That's why they're doing it. So do they really believe in the speed limit? No, they don't care. They couldn't care. Okay, couldn't care less. All right. Now, here's a problem with that. Okay, if you look at your life, okay, if you go through life doing something or not doing something because you're afraid, okay, that God would punish you or whoever would punish you, then do you learn anything? No. Then you become an automaton, right? A robot-like kind of thing. You are afraid of pain, so you avoid pain, right? Externally driven pain. Okay. Do you care? Do you understand why you can't do something? No. Right? Do you care to know? No. So then you defeat the purpose of why you're here, don't you? You see that? So that's why karma has a lag time, because nature wants to afford you the opportunity to figure out for yourself and change from the inside. Okay? And the only way to do that is to have you go through experiences that would show you, that will make you realize, and then you change. Okay? That's why karma doesn't happen right away, because what happens if it does happen right away? If it happens right away, then you would not do it, but not because you understand anything, it's because you're afraid of the punishment. You see that? So that's why karma has to have a lag time. And it's unpredictable. Again, if it's predictable, then guess what? It's going to happen. You're going to do it because you're afraid you're going to get punished. You're not going to do it because, oh, I understand why. I understand why I can't go steal, from somebody, right? So then, oftentimes people have to go through the same thing that they put others through in order for them to understand. Otherwise, they wouldn't understand, So that's the reason why karma takes time. And karma is not a curse that you wish on somebody. You can't put a curse on somebody, or karma on somebody. That's a misnomer. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, well, karma's going to get you. Well, yeah, if they do bad, but it's not because you said it. You don't have any power over anybody else. So you can't just wave your magic wand and say, you will experience karma, and then the other person, experience bad stuff. No, it doesn't work like that. Their karma is their own, and their karma is the result of their own action. And guess what? Karma lasts through lifetimes. Okay, from one lifetime to the next one. Okay, so it's there forever. It's not gonna until you fix it, until you change on the inside, your being level. Okay, which your essence survived your death. Okay, your death is just the death of your body. Is it's a subject for another video, but it goes through generations. Okay, and that's why nature and the universe has a lot of patience, right? The universe has been around for 13 billion years. That's the physical universe. Okay, existence, the energetic universe has been around forever because energy can neither be created nor destroyed, right? So it's forever. So the universe can wait, okay, for you to change, okay? So to sum it up, karma is not punishment, and it's not a curse that you put on somebody, okay? Karma is a action reaction, but it's delayed because the larger consciousness system wants you to learn something. It has to come from the inside, and that takes time, that takes experience, and that's the reason why karma has a lag time. So with that, I hope you continue to use logic to figure out your life and the nature of things around you, and gain from the knowledge instead of going through life just listening to everybody else and not using your brain. So once again, keep thinking.